Yo, thank you for coming back to another Hamza Khan show video. Um, New space unlocked, but we're just gonna get right into it because this is a bit of a prediction video going into WrestleMania. Obviously, we've got WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2 coming up. Tomorrow, so I'll probably do a video of Night 1 review and then also Night 2 review um, in the next couple of days. But for the predictions for WrestleMania, I'm just gonna go through it quite quickly. It's not gonna be super long video. It's gonna be super quick in terms of who I think is gonna win each match and the reasons why. Obviously, night one is gonna start off with. I'll look aside because I've got the list here. So it's gonna be Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Aisha Speed Division versus LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, and Jay Uso. Who I think is gonna win in this match? I think it's gonna have to be the Usos and LA Knight because you've got speed in the match. But I wouldn't mind it being Logan Paul and Austin Theory and Jim and Speed winning, push the momentum, then bring them as a actual force on Raw and keep building them guys up because you've seen what's happening with Jey Uso. I don't like LA Knight being in this match. I've kind of projected that before. I want the Usos to lose because of LA Knight, and I want a going forward. I want Jey Uso versus LA Knight. I want that being built. I want Crash Out Jay versus LA Knight, who doesn't stay out of his own business. That's kind of what I want to see going forward for that match. But I'm gonna say I think Logan Paul and Austin Theory and National Speed is gonna win. That's what I'm gonna go with. Next match, you got Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in the um, what's the match called? It's basically a street fight. But I think I think Jacob Fatu has to win. Jacob Fatu needs it. If you're gonna push Jacob Fatu as the monster he is, I think if you're gonna push Jacob Fatu as the monster he is, he needs to win a WrestleMania and then move on from this storyline. Um, Drew McIntyre can recover, and I think it will push Drew McIntyre into more of a like crash out state, similar to what happened to Gunther when he lost at WrestleMania. We can have something like that with maybe him and Nicaldis, and then Jacob Fatu can go start focusing on that main event picture, hopefully, and kind of push him kind of up into the spotlight a little bit more. And we can get back to that monster that we saw Jacob Fatu. I think a loss would impact him too badly, and it'd be more for Jacob Fatu, and I would want it more for Jacob Fatu rather than Drew McIntyre. Next match, you got the women's tag team match. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Bailey, and Lyra, Nia Jackson, Lash, Brie, and Nikki Bella. I think I think Nia Jackson, Lash Legend will well. I don't. Is either Nia Jackson, Lash Legend retain, and we push. Actually, I'm gonna go Brie, Bailey, and Lyra. The moment was lost from them last year. They was meant to be the tag team and then go on to win it last year, and obviously Bailey got attacked by Becky Lynch. So I think this year is where we make up for it. The momentum's been on those guys, and I feel like people would want them to win. And if Nia Jax and Lash Legend lose, we can at least focus on Nia Jax going or Nia Jax or Lash Legend focusing on other things in the division. Those are two powerhouses, and you kind of want them to be dominating rather than in the tag team division, I would say, even though they're great. But I think for the moment, especially with WrestleMania being the kind of good guys win at WrestleMania, Bailey and Lyra should win that match. Next match, you've got AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch needs to win this. Becky Lynch is so much more entertaining as the Intercontinental Championship than AJ Lee is. AJ Lee half the time isn't there. She's just happy to be there. Becky Lynch should win and get that Intercontinental Championship and hold it for the rest of the year. Hold it for years and years and just carry the division because Becky Lynch is sick and she can have so much more better matches rather than AJ Lee. So I think Becky Lynch has to win and needs to win that match, especially for her character, but also because we want to build a division and you can't build a division as much as I think with AJ Lee, then with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is so much more entertaining and it's so much more like you don't want her to be the champion, but she's more entertaining and entertainment's the kind of the reason you watch the wrestling really. So I would want Becky Lynch to win that match. You've got Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Gunther. Gunther wins. The seeds have already kind of put in place for Gunther to kind of build towards maybe Brock Lesnar match. So him losing doesn't make sense if he's gonna go for someone like Brock Lesnar. So I'm gonna go with Gunther. Possibly someone interferes in the match, but maybe he outsmarts Seth Rollins a little bit like how he outsmarted AJ Styles in the first win. Maybe that happens again with Seth Rollins, and that's why Gunther wins. But then also, I think people have kind of said that maybe Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker might return. I'm not sure on that yet, but Gunther should win that match, and so we can build towards Gunther and Seth, Gunther and Brock Lesnar at Mania at SummerSlam, and maybe possibly the kind of rivalry continues because obviously after WrestleMania we got King of the Ring coming up eventually. Could we see maybe a rematch between Seth and Gunther then? And that's where Seth wins, goes on to face the World Heavyweight Champion, and Gunther goes on to focus on Brock Lesnar. Um, yeah, Gunther should win that match. It makes more sense. You have Stephanie Vicker versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. For the championship, Liv Morgan should win this match. She's had the momentum. People want her to win. I feel like it's been very unfair to Stephanie Vicker. She's not really had the focus she should have been. I think that's kind of depending on the type of character. They don't get much focus. It was a little about like when Io won the world championship, and she didn't get the focus as much as people wanted her. And I feel like that was the same treatment that Stephanie Vicker had since she won the world heavyweight championship. And so for the title, if we're gonna build it up to the esteem of it, Liv Morgan should win so she can focus on maybe being that leader of the Judgment Day, and Stephanie Vicker can sort of rebuild herself to be more. I just want to see more Stephanie Vicker matches. I feel like she doesn't. She's someone that you want into the ring, and she doesn't get that opportunity enough. So I feel like Stephanie Vicker should win that match. And then you've got the main event: Cody Rhodes and versus Randy Orton for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I like the fact that there was like a time period where they were just calling it the WWE Championship, but they've now kind of brought that back up where it says people are announcing it as the Undisputed WWE Championship, and that's how it should be. Because if you're bringing up history and how much everything matters, then just throwing it under the rug and just calling it the WWE Championship doesn't make sense. Who should win? I feel like Randy Orton's gonna win. I'm not. It's such a like because of what Pat McAfee's involvement is and everything to do with that. I've kind of got my hopes up that maybe there's some sort of higher power, some sort of more to the story. Um, So maybe it is a case where Randy Orton wins because of someone's involvement. But maybe you have to put it on Cody, and Cody Rhodes wins. And because of miscommunication with Randy Orton, and but then you got to think about what happened with on Twitter where Pat McAfee is talking about Roman Reigns, and it's just becoming full. The story's not there on SmackDown or Raw, but the story's on everything else, and you kind of wondering, does it make sense? Does everything else matter, or is it a case where it doesn't matter and they're just trying to get you more excited? I'm gonna go with Randy Orton to win that match, but I want Cody Rhodes to win it, unless there's some sort of exciting surprise at the end of that match. And there has to be something good. No one's been happy with Cody, and then what you? Yeah, maybe it does have to be Randy because we saw in SmackDown Cody get booed. Maybe Vegas just doesn't like Cody Rhodes. Maybe everywhere else is okay with it, and Cody Rhodes is just not liked by Vegas fans. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy, but I wouldn't mind if Cody Rhodes would have changed, and I low-key want that to happen because Randy Orton winning it. Even Cody said it in his promo. We wanted the old Randy Orton back to win his 15th World Championship, but to win it in this way with Pat McAfee, it just ruins the full thing. So I'm gonna go with, and then again, John Cena won his 17th championship with Travis Scott. So who's me to decide? I'm gonna go Randy Orton. I'm sticking with Randy Orton to win that match. You've got Penta versus Night 2. Penta versus Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rusev, Jaden McDonough, and Rey Mysterio in the ladder match, Intercontinental Championship ladder match. I think is going to be an insane match. Hopefully, it's pushed and everybody is able to get like an amazing moment for that match. But I want Penta to retain. I want Penta to retain, insane spot. Maybe Rusev and JD McDonough gets thrown to a table and Penta wins it. And then he can go on to face every single one of these people in matches going forwards in Intercontinental Championship matches. But I want Penta to win because he's so good. He's so kind of you want to support him, you like to support him, and he pushes the boundaries. So I'm gonna go with Penta to win that match, retain his Intercontinental Championship. You can when you have like this kind of match, a ladder match, you want a lot of the times you kind of want someone else to win it. But I think based on the story, how long Penta has had the Intercontinental Championship, and how much more we can see from Penta, I'm gonna go with Penta to win that match. Next one, I think the most anticipated match of the full show. I'm surprised it wasn't even put on onto the first card, night one, card. But Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Throughout the week, for the last couple of weeks, I've been saying Oba has to win, and I'm still gonna say Oba should win, and I think he's gonna win. But there's always that thing in your mind that's brought up so many times. Brock Lesnar is not the typical wrestler. He doesn't follow the typical rules. He doesn't follow the typical storylines. Brock Lesnar could win, but I am gonna go with Obafemi. He's got the momentum. He's so loved by the fans. He's so engaged with the fans, and to destroy it by having Brock win, and maybe this being his last year, does not make sense. Brock can come back from this very easily if he loses, and Brock is Oba's the future. And there's times when you want is okay to lose. This isn't one of the times. We're not going to have a WrestleMania 43 card with Oba versus Brock again. It has to be Oba. Oba is this moment. It becomes a history statement. It becomes a moment in his legacy. Oba beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. in the match in on the card you don't expect it in the history books. Oba has to win, and he should win. And I feel like that entrance when he comes out, it's gonna be so exciting. Talk about people's entrances. You got Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. I enjoyed the promo on SmackDown. I'm liking what Sami Zayn is doing. The fact that he came out without um, his music kind of highlighted the booze. And as much as Trick Williams has the momentum in this situation, Sami Zayn as a heel should win, where we can have Trick Williams chase Sami Zayn for the United States Championship going forward. I think people are kind of referring it to maybe a double turn where Trick Williams turns babyface and Sami Zayn turns heel. I like that, but I would rather have Sami Zayn as the champion. Maybe he wins it in a very underhanded way with maybe little Yachty kind of involvement, that celebrity involvement, and we put in Sami Zayn in the winning that United States Championship with like a round of boos, so everybody really hates Sami Zayn, and we can go forwards with that heel Sami Zayn that we kind of wanted last year when Karrion Cross was talking to Sami Zayn and then he was able to overcome it, but this time he doesn't and he pushes the envelope. He does the nasty thing. He beats very selfish, and Sami Zayn retains that championship. You got Jay Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. I expect a moment where Michin and um, BFAB get involved, and that's where Io Sky comes out to for the save in that match. But I think Rhea Ripley needs to win that match. Jade Cargill has been a good heel, but she hasn't had the opponents to kind of really build her up as she should have. And Rhea Ripley as a babyface on SmackDown makes the most sense, and I feel like she can, a little bit like Liv Morgan, build a spotlight on the television so that it is built up and there's more interest in it. And a case where you've got the heels of Jay Cargill chasing Rhea Ripley with BFAB and Me Chain. You've also got Julia in the mix. You've got Chelsea Green, who's not really a heel but can be involved. Maybe a Tiffany Stratton turn where she becomes heel again because of how frustrated she is with her current kind of situation. And then you've also got Lash Legend. Obviously, Lash Legend was the last person to pin Rhea Ripley, so having her be one of the opponents for Rhea Ripley going in the future makes a lot of sense. So there's more you can kind of build, and hopefully there is a lot developed in that match, and hopefully they're given the time to kind of fight. Like the Oba versus Brock Lesnar match, I want to fight. I don't want a Goldberg match where it's ended in 5-10 minutes. I want I want Oba to bleed. I want Brock Lesnar to bleed in that match, and I want it just to be like Oba wins, but he rips it from Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar wasn't letting go at all, and the only way Brock Lesnar lost because Oba Femi ripped it from him, and I feel like that would be such a awesome visual for Oba Femi that you can plaster everywhere as a guy you push forwards. Um, Finn Balor and next match you got Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Ruined it with the announcement of the demon beforehand. Um, because I like the visual of what a lot of people predicted. Dominic Mysterio in the ring first, he's hype, and then you hear the demon. Everybody gets excited, and you just have the visual of Dominic Mysterio's face in fear of the demon actually coming out, and it kind of represents the vision of who Finn Balor wanted the demon to be, just as a war paint, as a kind of armor for himself going into a match. So Finn Balor should win that match very easily. There shouldn't be any shenanigans. Maybe JD McNabb, he's gonna get taken out in the ladder match. So Dominic Mysterio loses clean, and Finn Balor basically beats him, destroys him, and this is the kind of time to push Finn Balor onto his own way, leaves the Judgment Day, and maybe he goes down to SmackDown, and he's kind of involved in that matches. You got the main event of the Shovel Show of night two, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I'm very split on this match. I loved the the promo battle between them, the face off on Monday Night Raw between them. It brought everything back. It brought everything into the storyline, and it levels everything out in the kind of face off between those two. Roman Reigns, I feel like is gonna win and should win, so that we can focus and build towards a Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match at SummerSlam. That's what I want. I want Roman Reigns to win, him to be able to finally do it on his own without anybody's involvement in the match. We can always have CM Punk chase him after it, and but there's lots of opponents for CM Punk afterwards. But a visual of Roman Reigns ending the show after 2 years without the World Heavyweight Championship, and he's going to build a legacy with this championship way better than what the Usos did when they got the championship, tag team champions back. This is going to be a new Roman Reigns, and it's going to be such a cool visual of at the end, everybody's one's in the sky. Roman Reigns as a champion. Like CM Punk, he's not done anything wrong, but I think Roman Reigns should win that match and should push it going forwards. Um, it's gonna be. I'm excited for WrestleMania now. I think I was very unsure going forwards, and it was a kind of the build up was like, are we gonna get there eventually? We do get there, maybe. What's going on? But I am now excited now that we're a day or two away from it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if it was good, leave a dislike if it was bad, and peace.